the 9th of August, 2016, I announced a project under the name of Project 2017, and for some reason, this was bad. Like, no joke, it was bad. This literally just got announced on just a few days after Sonic got announced for LEGO Dimensions. So note to self, I was planning to making a short, keep in mind, a short film that is technically based off 2 to 3 movies, and those were horrors, and one of those was Lights Out. Trust me, I tried to do it. Guess what? It failed. And so, I thought I'd say that I would give up like I did for my other projects, but I simply just said, fuck that. I've given up on many projects. I'm still not giving up, even though this horror short had turned out to be extremely bad in every way, and I consider it bad myself. Not only that, it's because most of the people that I literally got for the short, they turned it down themselves. So, yeah, pretty much, hooray, yeah, this project was going well. Until I pretty much canceled it because everyone but me had dropped it, so I canceled that project. But not too long after, so I pretty much did something called a Try Not To series. That was technically a test only, just as a test. Trust me, it was like a beta version of Season 2, but Season 1 was just getting started. It was pretty much just 3 to 4 episodes of me doing Try Not To Laugh challenges that belong to PewDiePie videos. Yeah, that's the... yeah, that was it. That was the project name. Amazing, right? Why do I even do this? But anyways, other than all of that, I decided to stop working on my Project 2017 a lot later into the time. So around the same year of 2016, but on November, yeah, just a few months later, I did something heavy bad. Other than that, Project 2017 was originally going to be, I repeat this, originally going to be literally another thing going on, but it was canceled. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I don't even have a script for this. But anyways, I pretty much did say that I was making another project. That project turned out to be, dare do I say it, YouTube Runners. And guess what? It failed. No joke. Yeah. I was literally going to have a teaser expecting by January of 2017. And so far as from this point onwards, it was going perfectly. That was until, once again, everyone who I got to this thing, it all kind of failed. But still, it was all Project 2017, still wasn't giving up. Oh boy, now this is where the crazy part starts. All the way up to the very, let me just find it somewhere, if I can, about, just, how can I say it? On the 16th of May 2017, the official Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel released a video which was the custom avatar trailer for Sonic Forces. That kinda screwed my idea up a little. So what is it that I did? I stopped working on the project for a minute and tried to look for story things. Maybe I could think of a way to I don't know, make myself involved with both stories of Forces and the project I was working on. I'm like, maybe it could work, and I couldn't find the way. So, that was worse news. But I still had the idea of importing myself into the story of Sonic Forces. At this point in time, the same channel of the Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel uploaded another video on just around the same month, or close. I'm not even entirely sure. Well, yeah, they announced this on the 30th of May, so hey, not kind of bad, huh? They released a trailer for Sonic Mania, and hey, it was looking good. It was at this point in time that everyone was now not available, to pre-order the game until then onwards. And finally, you guessed it, E3 came along and showed a lot of stuff. And Tadashi Iizuka literally said that both Mania and Forces are linked somehow. He said that in a very weird way that was literally suspicious to everyone, and they started saying, oh, Mania is connected to Forces somehow whatsoever, and that is when the idea of the Phantom Ruby came along, because by the time the Villains trailer was uploaded, just about 1 month later, or a few months later, I'm not entirely sure, Sonic Mania was just around the corner. And for some reason the game got leaked, both games, but of course, they literally just said it. Why is the Phantom Ruby sound effect both in Mania and Forces? And this is when literally everyone said, oh yeah, it's official, both games are connected. And it was already at this point in time that I simply just said, fuck YouTube runners, it's not working. Because first of all, my runner, literally I had a runner right for the recording. He's the one that turned out the project. I'm like, oh god, what am I gonna do now? And so that's when I flipping agreed to making a PewDiePie Movie 3. But since I literally got messages from people, either from Twitter, myself, yeah, I do get messages from Twitter, guys. They said, please don't, it's just too cringy. Just don't. I'm like, well, it's kind of best if I just don't do it. So I released the teaser. It only got 47 views as from the current timing of this recording. And it's it's not going good. And so I turned down that project as well. And so I kept on working. And it was at this point in time that the entire game of Sonic Mania was leaked. Everyone was playing it, enjoying it. Boom. It was at this point in time as well that I literally said to myself, I'm still gonna keep the idea of having myself into the story. I just don't know how yet. And it was at this moment that I had my Project 2017 under my nose the entire time. And it was, of course, the Try Not To Season 2. I never had a final episode, so I simply just said, fuck it, I'll just try and make an episode on that. And since, of course, the last episode literally finished off with something called The End, it wasn't actually the end. I actually simply kept this idea before all that, so I simply just said, I'm gonna try and make the season as well as my project, but I kind of forgot about it. So, in the short way of saying it, in case you're losing track on everything, I was trying to find a way to make the project a possibility. It wasn't possible until I made Season 2. And of course, I finished Season 2 with the end with a question mark, because I kind of had the idea of importing myself into the story itself. I just didn't know how. So that's when I came up with the idea of making another episode. Maybe something will pop up and you can probably do something. And this was at this moment that when I finished the Season 2 with Episode 8, that's when I got the idea. I'm gonna do one more. That's it. And it's gonna be released on my birthday. So, I had about a few months to do it. And so it happened. And okay, what's next? At this point in time, I saw a video from a YouTuber who made a theory and saying that the Phantom Ruby in Mania and Forces comes from the real world. Not Sonic Mania's what? No, not Mania Sonic's world, the real world, the one that we are living in and shit. So, anyways, this I'm kind of curious, right? I was literally thinking, saying, I'm kind of curious and trying to base off an episode like this. So I kept that idea put away, and okay, here it is. Right, see if I can use it at some point. I'm like, okay, yeah, just use that episode. Just use it. And so I used it, and I used that as inspiration. So with the story of Mania and Forces connected, I made a prequel to Sonic Mania, which is a prequel to Sonic Forces. Yeah! It was also at this moment that I canceled YouTube Runners, so yep, that's technically the whole story in short of it. But then came the making of the episode. It was a massive pain in the ass. No joke. Literally, I got, not only I had to do it with myself, I had to make sure that I had the proper videos for Markiplier's reaction videos of the Try Not To series. Ones that I have not done yet, because by this time I actually got confused with what videos was which one. And not only that, but also getting 3 more people to star in the fucking episode. That episode, of course, was the bonus one. And I simply just got, of course, Gail, Aiden, and Jay, and Steven. That's 4 people, not 3. Hey. So, they technically didn't have a big part. They just appeared more like either cameo appearances or just because they wanted to be in it. And they said yes. I'm like, sure, I don't mind taking it. I'm like, alright then. I gave them their parts. It was all done easy, except Aiden. I mean, he kept on smiling for the entire thing. Right? So, yeah, the making kept on going. And, yeah, pretty much. So it was at this point that I said, alright, I'm gonna make a new opening for it. So yeah, I'm gonna make a new opening sequence for the trailer, but not as in the the way it was done originally. It was the same intro except with a different song. That song, of course, was the one used for the Sonic Mania trailer, which also came to the idea. I'm saying, I may have not been planning Season 2 to be the Project 2017 of the channel, but it was kind of something inside me was saying, yeah, you're connecting this. I don't care, you're just connecting. I'm like, okay, no problem. So, I did the new trailer, the new trailer for the Season 2 bonus episode, and everything was going as perfect as ever. Now, October 19th, I released the bonus episode. The bonus episode literally follows as planned. Of course, it follows the same tradition of me versus Dashi, who is technically my phone, right? But also follows the story of the Phantom Ruby in the real world. And so the description literally says this: when a normal day goes by with me and Dashi, something goes very wrong. A friend of mine finds the mysterious purple gem called the Phantom Ruby. This gem... Oh, shit. Alright, this is what literally the description had said. When a normal day goes by with me and Dashi, something goes wrong. A friend of mine finds a mysterious purple gem called the Phantom Ruby. This gem has sent them and other YouTubers such as Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye to a different dimension. That's it. Nothing else. I couldn't figure out something else to say. And so that's when I imported the entire thing to be within the Phantom Ruby. And that's how I got my 4 friends. Do I have friends? I don't know. To be in this part. Yeah, just normal 4 friends. But in story-wise, it's just 3 friends and just... What? Alright, I'm getting confused. Oh boy. So yeah, pretty much I'm saying is that I got these people to be in a small part. Boom. Jay, Aiden, and Gale were put into a part where they're just having an argument of what's going on later on in the day. And, they kind of leave because Dashi ruins a moment for them. Yeah. Because Dashi, I pretty much threw him out the window and he never came back. But at this point in time, when they all leave, they didn't expect that someone was still left behind, and that was Steven. Steven was the one just digging everywhere. And he happens to find the Phantom Ruby, by the way. Yeah, he encounters the Phantom Ruby and accidentally activates it. Which kinda sends both him, the 3 friends, plus Dashi, plus me, plus Mark, plus Felix, plus Jack, and everyone in the real world to go to the world of Sonic Forces. Yeah. At this point in time, literally everyone just says, "Oh, I'm confused. How do you end up in Sonic Forces, but the gem ends up in Mania?" Well, of course, that we have Sonic Forces to explain. Null Space. Null Space is an area where it's an endless prison. I'll just let these people explain it.
Welcome, Sonic. Glad you could make it to your funeral. Infinite, do it!
Take this. What is that?
Har, har. That, my spiky little predator, is null space.
Null space?
It's a little something that the Phantom Ruby cooked up. A closed-off space where absolutely nothing exists. Goodbye, Sonic, my soon-to-be eradicated nemesis. Enjoy all the nothing.
And so technically what happens is there was multiple entrances coming from each side. So technically we were all sent to the world of Sonic Forces for a couple of months-ish. Probably, I don't know what the timeline was like throughout the story of the games. But yeah, we were all sent to Sonic Forces, but the gem for some reason hit a different one and sent itself to Sonic Force, to Sonic Mania. So, that was it. That's the end of Season 2. But of course it left us off with a massive cliffhanger and I didn't know what was going on. That's why I had to let Sonic Mania come out first, which left us with a cliffhanger of Sonic entering a portal into Sonic Forces. Yes. This might be all confusing, but later on into this video, I'm explaining it even better. In the shortest way ever. So anyways, Season 2 is finished. We move on to Sonic Mania. Classic Sonic and Classic Tails encounter a new power source on the main island, Angel Island itself. They go find out what it is, and they happen to find out that Rofat Botnik here had found the gem first. And they kinda have to stop him, I guess, like always. But of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, being a cocky hog himself, he kinda messed about a bit, right? At least I think. I mean, of course, we need to know that Sonic is kind of cocky at some point, or that's kind of his part, I guess. But anyways, he gets sent to the world of forces through a portal that was literally set at the very end of Mania, which kind of left with the same pose as he did in the first Sonic Forces trailer. Boom, boom. Yeah, that was it. And that was the end of Mania. But then we come to the final part, which is Sonic Forces, which leads both stories coming together, literally, or all 3 of them. Technically the continuation of the Season 2 and the continuation of Mania, and puts it all into one massive final ending to everything. Now, everything in Forces was not expected. I literally thought it was gonna go and take a different direction, but the story of Forces was literally the ending I was expecting the game to have, and it did have it. Except the ending, though. Yeah, the ending was kind of confusing at first, but now I just come up with a small little ending thing. I'm just not making it into a video or anything, except into this one, so yeah, I'll explain it now. So as from the timeline of the Season 2 era, all the way up to the Mania era, up to the very final battle of Sonic Forces, everything went perfect, right? The Avatar was introduced perfectly, like literally. I'm kind of guessing that no one knows about this channel. Most of you do. That the Avatar is meant to be all of us, not just me imported into the story. It's all of us joining the Resistance. Everything went perfect until the ending, where it literally said, "Oh, the Phantom Ruby's destroyed. Do I go back home?" Because you do kind of see all the projectiles of the Phantom Ruby, which is the projectiles of Chaos, Metal Sonic, Zavok, and Shadow. They all kind of disappear. Boom. And of course, classic Sonic being Mania Sonic from the Mania timeline or the Mania dimension, he has to go as well. But what about the Avatar, which is technically us from the real world? Why don't we disappear? Well, of course, I also just came up with a thing. I'm saying, well, this is as from my perspective. No, I'm just saying. Why does the world need two Sonics? Just have one. But of course, since I'm not supposed to be a Sonic from another dimension, right? I'm supposed to be me, myself, and I. that was it. But I'm just saying right now, why don't I go? I pretty much just say, well, the same dimension doesn't need to have two Sonics. Fuck that, send one back home. I'm like, okay, done. That's it. Keep ending. Yeah. And of course, we stay behind in Sonic Forces' world from then onwards. Until the end, until the post-credit scene comes out, or the end credit scene. Yeah. Until the end credit scenes come up. Yeah, we literally see both the avatar that you make, which is technically you, and Sonic just kind of fist bumping at the very end. Yeah. and they both go their separate ways. At this point in time, I just wasn't bothered to edit the ending of my part, but as soon as you see your avatar, which is yourself, jump off the cliff, he was supposed to go through a portal. So, and that's, we're back in the real world. Boom. That was it. That's the whole story. Never meant to it be intended, but still, that's the whole story. So, a short way of saying it, everything was from Season 2 onwards was hinted to be Mania. So, and within Mania's story and everything, yeah, it leads on to the Forces. Boom. That was it. Yeah, that's kind of the short and sweet of it, since this talk has technically lasted about 20 minutes-ish, probably. But we're not done yet. Oh, no. Let's take a look at some of the Easter eggs hidden in each of the 3 parts. So let's just begin. Let's start with the first section, the Try Not To Season 2 era. At this point, you literally see Easter eggs of a Sonic the Hedgehog poster with my real name in it. Yeah, that's my real name. My real name is Edward. Yeah, that's my real name, guys. God, I feel almost humiliated. Jesus Christ! Anyways, but before all that, that my real name got revealed, let's just go back. But anyways, all that aside, you kind of see Easter eggs of seeing a Sonic the Hedgehog poster, which kind of leads to Sonic's episodes, right? The 2 Mania and Forces episodes. Yeah. or parts, I don't know. We also kind of see Easter eggs to Coca-Cola, which is technically supposed to be Sonic's favorite drink. Yeah, no joke. No joke. Yes. That was it. Yeah. That was it. That was it, guys. That was it. Yep. Another way of putting it is saying that on the vlog I did, which was we watched it, there was another Easter egg in there where you see me, I dare say it, drawing Sonic Mania's stock images, or just Sonic Mania images that I paused and kind of drawed. There's kind of an Easter egg there, see if you could have spotted that, but yeah, you know. Wow. Oh boy. Other than all of that, in the third episode, I believe, you kind of see me sleeping until you hear my alarm go off. That alarm ringtone is supposed to be, or actually is the drowning theme song from every single Sonic game where you're underwater and you're running out of air. All that aside, as from the part 3 of the final stretch episode and the bonus episode, they both contain music from Sonic Mania. And the bonus episode doesn't just contain music from Mania, but also contains music from Sonic Forces. Which then did say that it was continued the story itself from Mania and Forces. This video is never meant to be intended, guys. Keep that in mind, Jesus. But anyways, yeah, we kind of drop off from there, and then we leave off to Sonic Mania, which has no Easter eggs whatsoever hinted to Season 2 itself, but the very end, though, has a segment of fist bump going on in the final battle within the Death Egg Reverie. I mean, the Egg Reverie episode. The Egg Reverie final battle. That was it. But since I couldn't really notice that back then, I just simply put fist bump over it, and I just didn't know that both games were gonna be connected by then. But still, yeah, I did it. I put fist bump over it, and that kind of left it all off with the ending of that. So yeah, that's 2 parts over with. Now we move on straight to Sonic Forces. That kind of left a lot of stuff, guys. So if you look carefully in the first part of Sonic Forces that I did, or in any other part, you kind of see, how do I dare say it, the Avatar and I finally meet up at the Death Egg. This, right, literally, is saying that that Dashi is in that scene. How do I know that? Because as myself, the Avatar, picks up a phone where Knuckles is calling from, and of course, since in the Season 2 episode, Dashi's a phone, yeah, he's a phone. And in this season, on this part in Sonic Forces, I pick up a phone. Yeah, that's Dashi, guys. Unintentionally, but Dashi's in the game, like as from Season 2's form, or the way he was in Season 2. You see him as a phone. So yeah. other than all of that, Infinite's origin, which was Episode Shadow, which technically is the prequel to Sonic Forces. So the actual timeline goes as follows. Try Not To Season 2, Sonic Mania, Episode Shadow, and Sonic Forces. Boom. That's it. Yeah. That was it. That was it. Until just at the very end of the year, I posted a video of me doing Supersonic DLC and recreating YouTubers. Now that video people got a lot of confused with, but the YouTubers that are in that video, those are canon to the story, except Dashi, because he's the phone. Right? So yeah, that's what the whole point of the recreation of the YouTubers are. Yeah. All but Dashi are canon. So yeah. And that was the whole story. That was how the project itself came to be. So yeah. I'm gonna have a new video on the original Project 2017 footage. Yeah, the very first one. You know how how I simply said that I was making a horror short? I still have all that footage. So in the next video, I'm just gonna showcase all that old footage. So yeah, I hope you kind of enjoyed this video. Damn, Project 2017 came to be. What's the next project? Let's wait and see.